So here's a quick demo how an AI SDR works. First, you're gonna pick a strategy. So for example, you have visitors that you track the person who's coming or the company, and you wanna find similar individuals within those personas to reach out to. Well, you can do that. Do you want to do account-based sales or per persona, or do you want to take inbound leads trying to sell to you doing Uno reverse? There are different cases, different scenarios. Let's talk about account-based sales. So once I hit next, I will get to the next page. I'm going to fill in the location, industry, technology used, company headcount growth, department growth, and so on and so forth. So maybe I want them to have minimum 5 salespeople, management level, function, job title, and so on and so forth. Now, what's important is I can change to say, I want to find people that were hired during the last 90 days, or I want the system to run 40 companies a day. I want to find up to 25 individuals matching my personas within those companies every day. And then if I have a team, I want to use the direct path. So if John is connected to the prospect, it will come out of his account instead of mine. So I can turn that on. I can turn on autopilot, meaning that it runs for you, and autopilot on reply, so it automatically reply. If it's not turned on, you're in co-pilot mode and you have to review things before they go out. Now you can choose this team members and then you hit next. Now when you come next here, you can turn on the personalization waterfall. So let me give you an example. You see right here, I have the ability to change the prompt of how we personalize, for example, around the latest LinkedIn post. I can also put in this train prompts for standardization and so on and so forth, and then hit save. Now, for example, visitor intent, if it came to the website, I'm just going to copy the same one here, but you will be able to change the prompt and use the standard one from Salestools if you like. Now, we're doing that because we don't want to build a black box, and I'm just going to showcase here how that will look like. So you can change and modify your AI SDR to be exactly how you want it, and nobody else does that. Now, not everybody will have the same data, so maybe you can move around your data here as you see. So maybe the latest LinkedIn post first, maybe we want to talk about a G2 review, and so on and so forth. So we add that in as a backup down in the end. Maybe they install the technology, news about the company, article about the person showed up in a job podcast, for example, or the company have been in a podcast, we mentioned that. There are many different personalization waterfalls, and we're expanding the signals that you can use to tailor an individual message to every single person. Once you set that up, you can then choose, I want to outbound on LinkedIn, email. I want the social engagement first before reaching a person. That means if they're posting on LinkedIn, we do ask a question to the post before we do the outreach. And you can also turn on, they want to personalize based on the persona. Now, this is super important because you might have a decision maker, influencer, and a champion within a company. And you're going to communicate different to each one of them. So we'll segment them out to 3 different campaigns if you choose to do so. Once you hit save and start, you'll then be able to see your campaign. So they will typically flow in because they're getting saved by the AI SDR. They'll flow in and you see the LinkedIn connection message. You can change that once you're in AI SDR mode to simply say, I want to use the variable, and that will be custom field 1. Then it will use the data that it comes from the personalization waterfall. And then you go through. Now you have a LinkedIn message, and you see after every step, I have an AI SDR. So the AI SDR on LinkedIn is super, super important. You can set it up after every message, email, LinkedIn message, and so on and so forth, to actually be able to reply about what you're talking about. So, for example, Salestools is your first AI SDR that delivers adaptive intelligence, precise targeting, personalized outreach, and so on and so forth. It uses this data when people ask, can I know more about your product? And it's going to rewrite. Now, objections, it's going to handle that. Competitions, it's going to handle that. So we feed in the most common competitors. In this case, we should probably put 11x and Artisan, who is behind in terms of tech, but this is just an example. Now, additional information, you can add your calendar. You can also integrate directly. So if you're using Chili Piper, HubSpot, Cal.com, or any other product where you have a link, you can add it here. If you want to talk about pricing, well, you can say what your pricing is like. So in this case, AI SDR start at $650 a month. So I can just update that and hit save. Now, when somebody replies, it will within 5 minutes handle that reply in a humanized way. We simply segment it first by running a sentiment analysis to classify what branch of strategy is the AI model gonna run. That's where we run a very advanced RAG model. And we trained all of this on over 25.5 million emails and 19 million LinkedIn messages to actually humanize it. So that's where Salestools again stand deeply up. That's how easy it is to set up. It will automatically prospect 40 companies, up to 25 individuals within the company, build in this case different automations and reach out to them based on the persona. And if I added more team members, it will use the direct path to say Jesper is connected or John is connected, and then it will use that individual to reach out. So this is how easy it is to set up an AI SDR. And the second part is we're coming very soon. So once you're done with your campaign, you set everything up. For example, you don't want to sit and do more steps. You can say go like in forever mode. So you can say, I want to follow up to 20 times on LinkedIn and email. Do the follow-up messages for me. Do them short, 20 words maximum, and then do it every 3 to 4 days. Now, do it for X period of time, and the system will populate them because it will take a human forever, and nobody does that. And that's where leads slip through the cracks. And AI SDR will never give up. It will keep following up, resonate, reply, and book you that demo. So get started today on Salestools. Thank you for watching.